still your number one youth program on the station, OSRC Television. I'm your host for today, Eseosa Okodua, and you know how we do it each time we are here in the studio. We talk about issues that are concerning the youth, and it's also an avenue to connect with them. As usual, let's quickly go on a very short break, and when we return, I'm going to be introducing my guest, who is already seated with me in the studio. Stay with us. Yes, welcome back from that break. This is still Youth Vibes on OSRC Television. And this edition is one of a kind because we do not have just a guest. We have a youth core member in our midst. And today she's going to be talking to us about life after service. A lot of people, when they go into, when they enter into the service and stuff, how do they, face the real world afterwards when they are done with the service. So today she's going to be giving us an insight on life after service. And today I am with Amarachi Blessing Ojima. It's good to have you on the program. You look beautiful today.
Thank you, AC.
Okay, now let's go straight to the point. Let's talk about the people now. I understand that batch B Stream 1 core members will be passing out really soon in July. So let's talk about the fears and the expectations. What do you think scares people now from, going into the real world as an outgoing core member?
Okay, thank you so much for having me here, AC.
You're welcome.
This question, life after service, what's the fear after service? I think the past 3 months has got me thinking about this. What am I supposed to do when I'm done with service? I also got to question some of my friends regarding this because now the tension is quite much. Everybody thinking of a way forward after now. We've been so used to the 33K and most people are dependent on it. But let me just go straight to the point. We live in a society where everyone's struggling to survive. We have more people going into the university, more people graduating. We have more core members every month or twice in a month or thrice in 2 months. And we see this mass of people coming into this scheme to render services to the society. And once it's time for us to be done with service and go back to our parents and all of that, people are thinking, how am I supposed to cope? Where am I supposed to get money for feeding? How am I supposed to take care of myself? And you need to understand that society expects much from us. Family expects a lot from us. The society expects much from us. Our friends expect much from us. Siblings expect much from us. So leaving service and not having anything to do, it's going to be a problem. So then the fear, and hence we have this fear and why people are questioning life after service. Because our society, we do not have jobs for youth. Like the unemployment rate is quite enormous, and people are scared of what to do when they are done with service. Already we are happy, yes, we are receiving the 33K, but when we are done with 33K and we don't have a job, how are we supposed to survive? Why should I not be scared? Why should I not question life after service when I don't know what to fall back to? I guess that's basically why most people are scared, because they will no longer get the money.
So you spoke about societal expectations. Can you, buttress more on that?
Yes, I think once you're done with school, society expects you to take responsibility of yourself. Like before, when you were in school, you get to talk to your parents about some of the things you need. Mom, I need my textbook. Yes, and they can provide that for you. That moment you drop your pen and you're writing your final examination, you're coming back home. You're like, nobody cares whether you need this or that. They feel like you're old enough to take responsibility. And now look at you, a copper. We're not talking about someone who just graduated. We're talking about someone who is done with service. So the expectation is more for you as a copper. Now, you're not telling me that you're not done with service and you can't search for a job. You are done with service. Go out there, hunt for something, and be responsible for your well-being. And the problem now becomes the fact that we can't get a job. It's hard here. Everything is hard. Insecurity is a problem. We can't even go out there and be rest assured of our security. Let's say you're going to hunt for a job. So the expectation is much on us now we are done with service because they feel we are old enough and we can face the society.
Okay, when you talked about insecurity now, because I remember then when we were in camp, they would caution us that if you're going to be traveling, if you're traveling to places where there are insurgencies, do not wear your khaki, do not wear your uniform. What's your take on that? Like, we are serving the country, so why can't we just showcase? Then when my sister was serving, the pride was there. Everybody wants to wear their uniform and travel with pride, but we see that it doesn't happen any longer. What's your take on that?
Honestly, growing up, I loved the NYSC scheme. one of the reasons I was excited to go to school as a child was because I love
You
seeing
wanted to
coppers and
wear
I
that
wanted to wear the
uniform.
uniform. But coming into service, I can't count the number of times I've worn my khaki. I only wear it when I have official
Exactly.
matters like CDS and I have things to do at the NYSC office. That's because of this issue of insecurity. Because of the insecurity, they no longer see you as coppers. They no longer have regard for the government, and we are representing the government. So
Definitely.
it also affects us as coppers, even though we are innocent of whatever is happening in the society. You hear a bike man, you tell them, please, can you carry me? Ah, you're seeing me, I'm wearing khaki. I beg, who khaki help? I beg, give me my
Sometimes
money.
the price is even
Yeah, it's very,
outrageous.
yes. Go to the market to buy something, say they're paying you money. They don't. There's no longer pride when it comes to the NYSC scheme. So everybody think we are the government. So they want to be harsh on us. They want to be rude to us. They want to be, I don't know,
Channel
like,
their anger on the
on us
government,
because we are
yes,
representing the government.
definitely.
So I won't advise anybody to put the khaki on right now in the situation where we're faced with
The state of chaos.
Yeah. The society is just a mess, and wearing that khaki, I don't know. I don't
Okay,
know.
thank you so much. You talked about how we can take responsibility of ourselves, but now how do we deal with that? How do outgoing core members deal with the reality shock that they are going to be taking care of themselves and perhaps the people around them when there's no 33K? Everybody now is asking, no Alawi, how do you think you're going to? My question now is, how do we deal with that reality shock that there is a reality shock that once you go out, you are on your own. Everybody to your tent or Israel. So how do outgoing core members deal with that reality shock?
Essay. I don't know about others, but I think I know about myself.
Yourself, okay.
Yes, because before service, I had a lot going on. Like I was already sad and angry that they delayed me for almost like a year. The whole
COVID
and then when it was after COVID, NYSC registration, school and delay and all. So it took me 6 months, and I was already giving up. Oh, the whole thing should just go and rest. Let me face my life. So I feel with that delay, it gave me reasons to channel my attention on things that will help me grow. So coming into service, I wanted to be where I'll be more productive. I wanted to learn things. I wanted to get myself improved in different ways. So I got engaged in different things because I know that after now, already it was hard before service. After now, what am I going to do? What am I supposed to do? So I started learning things. I started learning improving the skills I already had. I started meeting people, engaging myself in different things. So
Networking.
so that, yes, networking, very important. So that after service, while I pray for God to give me a good job, a very
Something
good job
to
that is
fall
payable,
back
there is
on.
something to fall back on. And even if what I have is not going to pay me now, I believe that in the future it's supposed to pay me. So I want to always improve in those things, those abilities that I have. So the shock that we are supposed to face is going to be this high if you do not have like a plan before that time. If you're not already picturing that, we already have a society where things are not working the way we have expected. So you should know that if you have A as your plan, it may not be A. So just think about B. What if A doesn't work out? What should I do? So right now, if I don't get a job after service, what can I do? That's why they have the side programs. That's why they have other skills that you can actually acquire. That's why you have your own personal skills before Said. So you can improve in those things. And this thing, people say they don't take their PPA seriously. I don't know. I took my PPA very seriously, and then it gave me an opportunity to learn from my bosses. And I'm grateful I did, because I've been able to improve in so many ways, and that's because I already pictured the future. Yes.
So picturing the future actually prepares your mind to facing the reality.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now let's talk about, normally it has always been a standard process that when you're done with service, automatically you go job hunting. And in recent years, there's been issue of mass unemployment. Mass, and I'm talking about mass. It is really bad. So how do you think outgoing core members, how do you think they can deal with this?
Okay, I think it's similar to the whole thing about going to face the reality shock. Already, we don't have jobs. Our governments are not ready to even provide us with a job. Presently, we are thinking of elections. So they don't care. I don't think unemployment is the issue we should even talk about right now. We should talk about security. There is no security to start with. And then the governments, they are paying attention to the election. Imagine people paying 100 million and the rest to get a form. Why students are going on strike. And I want to understand that this is a society. We are supposed to call this a society. We are supposed to call it a state, that we have like a contract to the government. But then we are faced with these challenges. So AC, I don't think youth should. They already know that their government is failing them.
So we should deal with insecurity.
Deal with it, yes.
First.
Deal with the insecurity. Deal with the fact that you need to choose the right people so that you have like a better society for yourself. And then you should also, like I said, we have skills we can learn. Presently, people are fostering the idea of tech. Learn tech skills, make tech money, and people are even doing the whole crypto, even though it's like there's some kind of decline when it comes to this part of this making money and the economy. But then people are learning tech, people are learning skill, people are learning how to sew, bake. You could do anything. You need to actually think about what you're passionate about. Think about what you think you can do, irrespective of the help coming from the government. Whether they give you that help or not, what can you do with your hands? What can you do with your brain? How you have to be creative. We have to be innovative as young people, so that we don't come giving the excuses of the government. But it says it's not easy. Like I'm saying it like it's not easy,
we have to call it
but we just it's not easy to do that. But determination can actually help. Determination, people who believe in God, prayers, and I think by consistency you can actually survive in society.
Okay, this is still Youth Vibes, and we are with Amarachi Blessing Ojima. We're talking about life after service. Amarachi is a core member of the batch A Shimon, and she will be passing out really soon, and she has been able to give us some insights about life after service, reality, the expectations, the fear, and what comes after it. Okay, now to my next questions. How do you think, okay, I think this is quite similar to the one I asked you before, but just to buttress on it, how do you think core members, outgoing core members, can sell themselves? Because everybody's doing things now. If you say you want to bake, there are lots of people baking. How do you think they can sell themselves out there to be unique?
Yeah, you already mentioned it's unique, and then I said something earlier, be innovative. So you have to look at the markets. We have two people baking cake, and then they are baking it alike. So you have to think of something different. You have to look for something. It doesn't have to be the whole packaging. It doesn't have to be the creativity when you're baking your cake. It has to be something different. Maybe your customer care, your customer service, the way you say hi to your customer. You just have to think of something. That's the innovation.
Like
yes.
Okay. Cons, what is your advice to the outgoing core members?
I just want them to understand that the phase where they are in presently, it's just normal. It's normal. You guys are going to panic when you're done with service. You guys are going to be afraid of a lot of things. You see expectations coming here and there. The only thing I have to tell you is this: you just have to calm down. Take a deep breath. I know that it's too much when you go out there, but no matter what you face there, just always breathe. Just breathe, and then come back. Tell yourself that you can actually do it. Look for those abilities, those skills you have, those things you're passionate about. Work on your skills while praying and going out there to hunt. And then if I don't know how people were able to cooperate with the people around them in their spaces where they worked, but networking is very important. But all I have to say is that the pressure is going to be there. Once you leave, once you're done with service, you're going to face it. But while you're panicking, please always breathe. Remember that you can actually succeed. Nobody made it out of the blues. Like, they started from somewhere, and I believe that with time we're all going to have everything figured out. Just believe in yourself.
Thank you so much for that. That was a really good one coming there from Amarachi Blessing, and she was able to give us a good insight on life after service. Talked about the expectations, the fears, things that you can always fall back on instead of waiting for the government to give you a good job. All right, we have come to the end of our spotlight segment, and going further to our next segment. Okay, now I understand that you are on a project.
Oh, yeah.
So I would like you to tell us about your project. What inspired you about it? What motivated you to pick up the project? Because I know it's a humanitarian project. So just tell us more about that project.
Coming into camp, I think a lot happened, and I don't know if I was angry coming into service, but I know I panicked when I saw the whole
look
posting.
Like you panicked because I think you were #1 core member in Ikariakoko. Yes, I also come there. I knew that you were very popular, so it was not like you panicked to me. So I don't know what you're talking about.
So you won't understand. I think everything I did in camp was because I needed to cover up an aspect of me. So most people, when they go through things, they want to either walk. So people don't see. I think that was what happened in camp. I was too engaged in a lot of things because I had my own issues going on. But I realized that I feel like people, friends would have thought that 2021 I had a lot I couldn't have done, I didn't do. But coming into service between 2021 and now, I think everything I said I was going to do, I did. The only thing I haven't done is applying for a scholarship, and of which I actually suspended it. But my project, what motivated me into doing this project is the fact that...
No, first of all, tell us about the project. What's the project about? Before you tell us what motivated you to doing it.
So I'm carrying out a project, Pad and Ondo Girl, as a core member. That's like my personal CDS. It's a project to reach out to 500 young girls in Akure South.
Wow.
And to give out 12 packs of pads to each girl that will be attending the event.
12 packs to each?
Yeah. So the goal is to pad them for a year.
That's a whole lot.
Yeah. So...
Wow.
We'll be giving 12 packs of pads to young girls in Akure South, and not just giving them the pad, because to me the basic thing is the sensitization.
Definitely.
We have to sensitize these girls and also curb this whole thing about stigmatization on young ladies because they see their period. Most people see period as a taboo. They see it as absurd, and that's where you hear parents tell their children to stay outside whenever they are going through their period flow. You see siblings tell their brothers or their sisters that they can't eat their food when they are seeing their period. You see people seeing us as disgusting and tell their brothers or their sisters that they can't eat their food when they are seeing their period. You see people seeing us as disgusting and dirty because we are menstruating. And then I needed to pass the message that we can freely bleed and be excited about our femaleness. And that's why I carried out this project. And then I want people to realize that young women are being faced with the challenges of getting pads. Hence, why the government should actually work on the taxation. They should take away the tax tariff or maybe reduce it so that women can actually afford pads.
Yeah, because I know of a friend that is now going back to the Stone Age because she said obviously she cannot afford a pack of pad anymore, so she'll just resort to using tissue paper. And I'm like,
they say people do it, and I saw something. Let me shock you.
What?
I read on the internet that people use mud. Say the clay. People use it whenever they are seeing their period. They have to sit on clay, and that's how they do it. So I was questioning myself. How long are they going to do this? People use tissue, like you said, and these things are not hygienic. And I wonder how they want us to feel empowered in our bodies and in our minds as women. So that's why I'm carrying out this project. And because of my own personal experiences, many people have their period flows, the days and all of that, the duration. We have our own unique ways of seeing our periods, and some people have their periods coming with cramps and the whole discomfort and mood swings. So I wanted to reduce the burdens on women so that these women won't think about getting paid. Let them concentrate about the pain, the whole discomfort when they're seeing their period and all of that, and let them get the awareness, understand. Some people don't even know what period is until they start seeing their period. So I just want society to understand that we matter. I want them to know that these girls are going through a lot and they need their help. I want them to understand that we need sanitary pads donated to women. Sanitary pads should not be seen as a business. People want to make money.
Exactly.
People donate things like contraceptives and the rest of them, but then nobody pays attention to the fact that women need pads and young people in rural areas are going through a lot. I guess that's my motivation, and my personal experiences too motivated me too.
That's a whole lot. I wish you all the best in your project. So we've been able to talk about life after service. Like I said earlier, she's given us a great insight about the fears, the expectations, and what have you. There is something that is unique or peculiar to only you as a person. It's also very important to be able to find out what you're good at, perfect it, and sell yourself. Get ready to sell yourself out there to anyone, anywhere in the world. That would be my final words for today. And I would also like to say, my name is Eseosa Okodua.